On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Graphics.
Images, designs, or drawings used in websites, books, magazines, etc.
Examples:
Computer graphics, graphics engine. My dream is to become a great graphics designer like her.
Digital.
Processing or storing information as a succession of 1 and 0 to show that a signal is present or missing, relating to the use of computer technology, especially the Internet.
Examples:
A digital watch, digital electronic signature. Sensors convert physical phenomena into digital signals.
Alien.
A person who comes from a different country, race, or group, a form of life assumed to exist outside the Earth or its atmosphere.
Examples:
Alien fungi, resident aliens. Alien species have drastically altered the ecosystem in this area.
Dinosaur.
A large extinct reptile, often with an armored back, long neck, tail, and bony plates on the skin.
Examples:
Hulking dinosaur, dinosaur fossil. The discovery of a new dinosaur species made headlines in the scientific community.
Communicate.
To share or exchange information with others by speaking, writing, moving your body, or using other signals.
Examples:
Communicate his anxieties to the psychiatrist. Communicate well with my advisor. Dolphins use sound to communicate with each other.
Tune.
A musical composition or set of musical notes that are played or sung. Verb, to adjust or set something to a specific condition or standard.
Examples:
The tune of a song. Tune a piano. The band played a beautiful tune on their instruments.
Subtle.
Not readily apparent or visible.
Examples:
Subtle changes. A subtle poison. The room was painted in a subtle pink hue.
Render.
To bring someone or something into a particular state, to provide something such as service, help, etc.
Examples:
Render an assessment. Render the contract void. The jury must render a decision on this complex case.
Realistic.
Having or showing a sensible and practical idea that is possible to achieve.
Examples:
A realistic goal. A realistic goal. That story was so realistic, and it was scary.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Generate.
To produce or create something, to make offspring by reproduction.
Examples:
Generate more electricity. Generate $100 a month. The economic stimulation program would generate a lot of new jobs.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Collaborate.
To work with someone else to produce or achieve something.
Examples:
Collaborate with the police. Collaborate on a press release. She agreed to collaborate with him in creating new artwork.
Metric.
Using or relating to the meter as a unit of length, a system of related measures that facilitates the quantification of some particular characteristic.
Examples:
Metric units. Key performance metrics. In the metric system, measurements are made in meters and liters.
Actress.
A female actor, particularly in the theater or movies.
Examples:
An actress of real quality. A well-known actress. The acclaimed actress received an Oscar for her outstanding performance in the film.
Gracious.
Behaving in a kind, polite, and generous way.
Examples:
In a gracious manner. Gracious hospitality. The staff is always helpful and gracious.
Laboratory.
A workplace for doing scientific research or teaching science, a lab.
Examples:
Laboratory accident. Anthropology laboratory. Animal protection groups call for an end to animal testing in a laboratory.
Session.
A formal meeting or series of meetings for the execution of a particular group's functions, a period spent doing a particular activity.
Examples:
The morning session. The court session. Parliament is now in session.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Sphere.
A round object or geometric shape that is three-dimensional and symmetrical around a central point, a particular aspect or scope of life or activity.
Examples:
Sphere of influence. Business sphere. The sphere of the Earth is divided into several layers, including the crust, mantle, and core.
Photograph.
A picture or image that is produced by a camera, a visual representation or record of a person, object, or scene that has been captured electronically or on film.
Examples:
Photograph album. Photograph memories. I found an old photograph of my grandparents from their wedding day.
Illumination.
Light or source of light, the degree of visibility of your environment.
Examples:
Starry illumination. Indirect illumination. The skylight will give adequate illumination from above.
Capture.
To catch a person or an animal and confine them in an area which they cannot escape.
Examples:
Capture a glimpse. Capture customers' hearts. I was able to capture the moment on film.
Projector.
A device that projects or casts an image onto a surface, often used for presentations, film screenings, or displaying visual content, typically involves using light and lenses to create an enlarged image.
Examples:
Projector screen. Portable projector. The movie theater installed state-of-the-art digital projectors to enhance the movie-going experience.
Drape.
To arrange or hang cloth or clothing loosely over something, typically in a decorative way, to cover or decorate loosely with material.
Examples:
Drape a coat. Drape a curtain. She draped a shawl over her shoulders to keep warm.
Contour.
The outline of its shape or form, a line drawn on a map connecting points of equal height.
Examples:
The contour of the Earth's surface. Contour lines. The contour of the Atlantic coast of America is very complicated.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples:
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Coarse.
Rough or uneven in texture, lacking refinement or sensitivity in behavior, speech, or manners.
Examples:
Coarse language. Coarse texture. The kitchen knife had a coarse edge, making cutting through the tough steak difficult.
Zoom.
To move along very quickly, noun, the act of rising upward into the air.
Examples:
Zoom in on a photo. Zoom lens. He zoomed back in time to the soccer game.
Absolutely.
Without restriction or limitation, completely or utterly.
Examples:
Absolutely against. Absolutely obsessed with the girl. I am absolutely opposed to his idea because of morality.
Facial.
Of or relating to a person's face.
Examples:
Facial nerve. Facial expressions. Facial profiling is a new form of airport security.
Texture.
The feel or appearance of a surface or substance.
Examples:
The texture of the skin. The texture of octopus. We could sense the silk's lovely texture.
Addition.
The act or process of adding something to something else, the process of adding numbers.
Examples:
Chemical addition. Addition of vectors. In addition, private corporations provide healthcare services.
Polar.
Relating to, or close to, the North or South Pole, characterized by complete opposites.
Examples:
Polar bears. Polar regions. Polar animals are graceful and efficient swimmers.
Sunglasses.
A pair of darkened glasses worn to protect the eyes from harsh sunlight or glare.
Examples:
Sunglasses case. Designer sunglasses. I always wear sunglasses outside to protect my eyes from the sun's harmful rays.
Glare.
To shine with a bright, harsh, or dazzling light, to stare fiercely or angrily, often with a piercing or threatening gaze. Noun, a strong, bright, and often harsh or uncomfortable light that can be blinding or difficult to look at directly.
Examples:
The glare of the sun. Glare at my opponent. The sun glared down on us, making it difficult to see without squinting our eyes.
Speculum.
A medical instrument or tool, often made of metal or plastic, that is used to dilate or examine body cavities, especially the vagina or ear. Typically has a curved or hinged design to facilitate examination or procedures.
Examples:
Speculum insertion. Disposable speculum. Some patients find the speculum examination slightly uncomfortable, but necessary for their health.
Reflection.
The act of thinking deeply about something, or the ability to think deeply, the image of something that is seen in a mirror or other reflective surface.
Examples:
Reflection question. Photon reflection. The teacher asked the students to write a reflection on the book they had just read.
Shiny.
Reflecting light and having a bright and smooth surface.
Examples:
shiny surface, shiny object. The shiny new car drew everyone's attention as it drove by.
Underneath.
Under or below something else.
Examples:
underneath the surface of the water, underneath the laughter. The penny fell underneath the piano.
Translucent.
Allowing light to pass through, but scattering it so that objects behind cannot be seen clearly, partially transparent.
Examples:
translucent glass, translucent skin. The sunlight shone through the translucent curtains, casting a warm glow in the room.
Layer.
A sheet, quantity, or thickness of the material, typically one of several, covering a surface or body, a level or part within a system or set of ideas.
Examples:
layer cake, layer of paint. The layer of frost on the ground was so thick it was difficult to walk on.
Blur.
A faint or indistinct image or sound, something that is not clear or distinct. Verb, to become unclear, to lose clear vision.
Examples:
blur image, motion blur. The camera's focus was off, and the image was a blur of colors and shapes.
Cue.
A signal, gesture, or action that provides information or direction for someone else to act or respond, a reminder or prompt for someone to do something.
Examples:
cue card, visual cue. The director gave the actor a cue to begin the scene.
Pore.
A tiny hole in the skin of people or other animals that sweat can pass through. Verb, to read carefully or study attentively.
Examples:
woody pore fungi, pore over reference books. I was sweating at every pore.
Structure.
The way of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts, or a complex thing constructed of many parts.
Examples:
the structure of a machine, structure and function of the brain. The organizational structure of startups is often flat and straightforward.
Wrinkle.
A small line or fold in something, especially fabric or the skin of the face, a minor difficulty.
Examples:
a fine wrinkle on a fabric, a facial wrinkle. This suit is made of wrinkle-proof material.
Humming.
Producing a continuous, low, vibrating sound like that of the bee.
Examples:
humming sound, hummingbird. The humming of the bees filled the air as she walked through the garden.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
a tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Gross.
Being the total amount of something before any deductions, obese and ugly or unpleasant.
Examples:
the gross amount. Gross injustice. The drastic reorganization has significantly increased this company's gross profits.
Augment.
To increase the size, extent, quantity, etc. of something by adding something to it.
Examples:
augment the reality. Augment immunity. Economic factors and monetary policy augmented inflation.
Photometer.
An instrument used to measure the intensity of light or other forms of radiation, which typically measures the amount of brightness or luminosity emitted by a source.
Examples:
spectral photometer. Handheld photometer. The scientist used a digital photometer to measure the light intensity in the experiment.
Pose.
To present a risk, problem, or other issues that must be addressed.
Examples:
pose a significant threat to my company. Pose a challenge. The chemicals pose a massive health risk.
Expression.
The act of conveying thoughts, feelings, or ideas using words, facial expressions, body language, or art, a look or gesture that conveys a particular emotion or mood.
Examples:
artistic expression. Expression of interest. His facial expression showed a mix of surprise and confusion.
Moving.
Causing strong emotions or feelings, especially sadness or sympathy.
Examples:
moving experience. Moving ceremony. His moving speech about his struggles with addiction brought tears to the audience's eyes.
Enormous.
Extremely large or great.
Examples:
enormous amount. Enormous potential. Shakespeare's output of poetry was enormous.
Amazing.
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples:
amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Buckle.
To bend out of shape, as under pressure or from heat. Noun, a device used for fastening two loose ends of a belt or strap.
Examples:
buckle down to study. Buckle shoe. The severe heat wave buckled railway tracks.
Stretch.
To make or be capable of making anything longer or broader without hurting or breaking.
Examples:
stretch along the coast, stretch a story. Some herds have been observed to stretch hundreds of kilometers.
Furrow.
A long and narrow groove or trench, typically made in the ground by a plow or a person's fingers, a wrinkle or groove on a person's face.
Examples:
Plowed furrow, narrow furrow. The farmer plowed deep furrows in the field before planting his crops.
Brow.
The ridge over the eye sockets, the forehead.
Examples:
The brow of a hill, furrowed brow. She wiped the sweat from her brow after finishing the marathon.
Flesh.
The soft substance composing the body of a person or animal, as opposed to bones and other structures.
Examples:
Grow in flesh, flesh eating. The flesh of the fruit is sweet and juicy.
Eyebrow.
The hair arc over each eye in humans.
Examples:
Raise her eyebrows. Eyebrow cosmetics. She raised an inquiring eyebrow towards me.
Bulge.
To protrude or extend outward.
Examples:
Bulge at the enterprise. Bulge with books. The muscles in his arm bulged as he lifted the heavy weights.
Forehead.
The part of the face above the eyebrows and below the hairline, the upper part of the face that extends from the eyes to the hairline.
Examples:
Forehead wrinkles. Kiss on the forehead. The athlete had sweat dripping down her forehead after the intense workout.
Wince.
To make a slight involuntary grimace or shrinking movement due to pain, distress, or embarrassment. Noun, a facial expression or bodily gesture of pain, discomfort, or embarrassment in response to an unpleasant or unwelcome stimulus.
Examples:
Wince at the sound. A slight wince. He winced as he saw his favorite vase fall and shatter on the ground.
Resolution.
A firm decision or determination to do or not do something. The action of solving a problem, dispute, or conflict. The quality of being resolved or determined. The clarity and sharpness of an image or display.
Examples:
Resolution of a conflict. Display resolution. He made a New Year's resolution to exercise more and eat healthier.
Geometry.
The area of pure mathematics that deals with the points, lines, curves, and surfaces.
Examples:
Euclidean geometry. Spherical geometry. The mathematician pioneered fractal geometry.
Diffuse.
Spread out widely, not concentrated in one place.
Examples:
diffuse bleeding, diffuse cloud. Direct lighting is preferable to diffuse lighting when reading.
Plaster.
A substance made of lime that becomes hard as it dries and is used for the protective or decorative coating of walls and ceilings, and for molding and casting decorative elements.
Examples:
daub the ceiling with plaster. Cracks in the plaster. Patience is the plaster of all sores.
Mannequin.
A life-sized model of the human body used for displaying clothes, especially in a store window.
Examples:
mannequin display. Pose mannequin. The store's window display featured a series of mannequins dressed in the latest fashion.
Rig.
To prepare or set up something in a certain way, typically in a carefully planned or fraudulent manner, to equip with sails or masts.
Examples:
rig an election. Rig a ship with new sails. He rigged the game so he could win the prize.
Puppet.
A doll or figure that is manipulated by strings, wires, or hands to represent a person or animal, a person who is controlled or manipulated by someone else.
Examples:
puppet theater. Corporate puppet. The politician was merely a puppet for the wealthy elite.
String.
Long, thin material used for tying things together, composed of several twisted threads.
Examples:
retie the string and make it strong. Tense piano strings. She wore a string of pearls around her neck.
Consistent.
Always behaving or happening in the same way, or having the same thoughts, standards, etc.
Examples:
do on a consistent basis. Get consistent results. You are not consistent in your behavior.
Displacement.
The act of forcing someone or something to leave their home or place of origin, especially as a result of conflict, natural disaster, or manipulation.
Examples:
displacement camp. A car with 1,800 cubic centimeters displacement. The displacement of the residents was a consequence of the construction of the new highway.
Animate.
To make something full of interest and energy.
Examples:
animate the body. Animate his soul. The positive attitude of the supervisor animated the discussion.
Analyze.
To think about in depth and evaluate to discover essential features or meaning.
Examples:
analyze a chemical compound. Analyze your real motives. The teacher attempted to analyze the root cause of our mistake.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples:
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Technique:
A particular way or art of doing something that needs skill.
Examples:
A technique in martial arts. The technique applied to construction. Jockey's superior technique brought him victory.
Volume:
The amount of space occupied by an object or substance, the magnitude of sound.
Examples:
Volume of work. High volume. This container has a volume of 10 cubic meters.
Animation:
The technique of photographing successive drawings or positions of puppets or models to create an illusion of movement when the film is shown as a sequence. Enthusiasm and energy in the way you look or behave.
Examples:
Animation studio. Animation film. The animation of the characters in the movie was so realistic, and it was as if they were there.
Specialize:
To become an expert in a specific career field, study, or business.
Examples:
Specialize in childcare. Specialize in market research. The restaurant has chefs who specialize in beef.
Component:
One of several parts that combines with others to form something bigger.
Examples:
Key component. Spare components for cars. The researchers try to discover a common component in all types of successful organizations.
Slide:
To move or cause to move smoothly along a surface without interruption.
Examples:
Slide a card across the table. Slide a glance. If necessary, you can slide the front seats forward.
Underlying:
Significant as a cause or basis of something, but not immediately apparent or stated clearly.
Examples:
An underlying motive. An underlying cause of an accident. The underlying principle of every business was identical.
Wireframe:
A visual representation or skeletal outline of a three-dimensional object or structure used in computer graphics or design to conceptualize and plan the layout and functionality of a website, application, or physical product.
Examples:
Interactive wireframe. Wireframe prototype. The designer created a detailed wireframe of the app before starting the development process.
Mesh:
A material made of a network of wire, plastic, or thread.
Examples:
A mesh fence. The mesh of a basket. The mesh fabric was breathable and comfortable to wear.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.